I am. Live I am. Is anyone here? I do not know. Oh man, I forgot to set up my desk. I am so bad at this, you guys. So bad at, life and preparing things and being a good YouTuber. I'm so sorry. Listen, this is what you get. An awkward girl who's not good at very much, but is also good at a lot of random stuff. So, hi, I am Victoria Wilder, author of Lullaby of the Willow 2 and a bunch of other stuff. I'm actually going to go grab those books in just a moment, but I do want to welcome you to my home and welcome to our write-in. So it's been about 2 weeks since our last write-in because I ended up going to Chicago, and that week, I think the week before I also missed, and I don't remember why, but I ended up going to Chicago a couple of weeks ago for my friend's wedding. Her wedding was February 22nd, and it was a beautiful, amazing, wonderful event. But while we were there, my sister had a tragedy, I guess. Her house had a fire, or her house had a fire, like it gave birth. No, there was a house fire, and she lost pretty much everything. And her cat didn't really have anywhere to go. She was with my mom at my mom's house. And so while we were there, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take the cat. Like, I will gladly take that cat. So we had to figure out how to get her home. We flew her on the plane. I'd never flown with a pet on the plane before, but we brought her home. Her name is Sabrina Shadows, and she is very, very sweet, although she is very rambunctious. So, Sabrina, that was her, in case you heard her. Our cat, Brooklyn, is like about almost 4 years old, and she's a big, chunky cat, and she likes to sleep. She's always liked to sleep. That's her favorite thing. She's not huge on playing. She likes to chase strings or whatever, but she's not crazy about playing. And Sabrina really wants to play with her, and Brooklyn is not having it. So I've been dealing with that. And then also while I was in Chicago, there were some other things that went down that just made it so that last week and like just the whole week, I was just like not able to do a write-in, to be in public. I needed to really take care of myself. I really needed to take some time to come to terms with some of the things that had happened that weekend and really just kind of let my body heal, let my spirit heal, and that's still a process that's ongoing. But the best part, besides my friend's wedding, is we got Sabrina out of it. And eventually she will come and say hi when she is done in her little litter box. And until then, we will be talking, chatting. I'm actually going to go grab my books so that you can see them here as we're writing, just so that you know what I do and that I'm a writer and I'm not just some random person sitting here silently on the computer making clicky sounds. Hi, Sabrina. Hi. So here's what I'm going to do. Because I am not wearing pants. I'm wearing no pants. So I'm gonna slide off camera, and then I will be back in just a second, okay? I will not put pants on. No one can make me. This is my home, and it is a pants-free zone.
Are you part of No Pants Gang?
I am part of the No Pants Gang. Thank you very much. Hold on. What if I did it like? What if I did this? Does this work? Does this work? Yes, it kind of works. So I'm wearing boxers for once. And I'm also wearing a fanny pack because I've been playing around with this new app. It's a walking app, so it just like measures my steps. So I've been wearing a fanny pack around the house with my phone in it so that I could just kind of see how many steps I take in the day and like get points from it and get cool prizes and stuff just from walking all day. And also it allows me to not be on my computer all day and not be just sitting in one spot. I also have myself a little bit of candy and a yogurt for snack time. So if I get hungry, maybe I won't get up and go get some food in the middle of a write-in because I'm like the only one here. And if I get up and walk away, then you guys are just gonna, I guess, be writing. I don't know. But let's see. Today, I'm still working on my novel, Scourge of the Lilitu, or Scourge of the Lilitu, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And it's not as far along as I'd hoped by now, because like I said, that last week after I got back from Chicago, I didn't really write much at all. I was just really, really trying to deal with some of the events from while I was in Chicago. So I didn't actually get a lot of writing done. I just haven't been able to, honestly. And it was just like a stressful week. So the book itself is not as far as I'd hoped. I'm still hoping to be done with it by either the end of the next month or the next 2 months if I really like go hardcore. And the last 2 or so days, I've been getting a lot more writing in, but it has been distracting because also I've had this new cat, and she's been really, really, really interesting, really fun to watch, and also she takes off my other cat. You may have just heard a hiss because she got close. So what she's obsessed with Brooklyn, and she just gets really close to her and then stops, and Brooklyn just hates her coming near. It's like the cat version of I'm not touching you. Like she gets really close and like moves her paws towards her, and then Brooklyn is just like, get out of my space. And we're in a studio, so there's not like a ton of space, but we're doing our best. And Sabrina, she's really sweet in general. She just is kind of a little bit of a terror to Brooklyn, and she jumps on my altar a lot, and she will eat anything. Like Brooklyn's kind of picky, like she'll eat a lot, but a lot of what she likes. I'm pretty sure Sabrina, if there's something edible, she will try to put it in her mouth. And it's really funny, but also we have to be careful with her because she also keeps trying to eat my plant, which isn't toxic, but that's annoying. Like, don't eat my plant. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes. Please say hi if you're here. Say hi in the chat. And it's on the 15, so we'll start on the 20. I think that's a good time to get started. So we can start on the 20, and we will do a sprint we'll start at 15 minutes, and then the next sprints will be 20 minutes each. And we'll do probably 3 or 4. That's usually how many I have in me before I kind of want to conk out. At some point, I'm going to probably have some candy. It's good. It's not Reese's, it's Trader Joe's peanut butter cups. It's like dark chocolate peanut butter cups. They're pretty good. They're not, they don't do the same for me as Reese's do, but Reese's have like all kinds of extra stuff added into them that makes them kind of addictive. So what are you gonna do, right? But yeah, at some point in the middle, we'll have a chat. We'll, in between sprints, we will talk about what's been going on. I will talk about Scourge. You guys can let me know in the chats. On the side, for me, it's on the right side. I don't know what side it might be on for your computer, or it might even be on the bottom. I have no idea. But in the chat, you let me know what you're writing. Let me know what's going on. Say hi to Sabrina. Hi, Dee. Come here. Hi. Oh, hello. Hi, say hello, world. I am Sabby Shadows, and I love my new home. Do you love your new home? Do you love your new mama? Yeah. She's my only cat who's ever traveled. She's a cat of the world. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're a cat of the world. I love you. I love you. I was accused of being smothering earlier, and maybe it's true. I don't care. You need to be smothered, don't you? You need to get all the loves. So this is Sabby Shadows. She's a tiny baby. She's like, I am guessing she's around 8 months. She's definitely not a whole year old, I don't think. And she's got very little training. So trying to train her, she knows how to use the litter box, obviously, but trying to like train her to just like not jump on certain things, not attack my other cat, not eat everything, like that takes time, Doesn't it take time? But she's really easy. She's really simple. And I've never had a cat whose nails I could just clip and she would just allow it. Like just sit there and just be like, clip, clip, clip. Like Brooklyn would eat us. She would literally try to eat our faces if we just tried to clip her nails without wrapping her in a blanket and giving her a million treats. And this one just kind of accepts it. Don't you? Yeah. Yes, you do. Oh, she loves that. Oh, she loves that. I gotta write in 2 minutes, baby. I gotta do some writing. I could just do this the whole time, guys. You could just like watch me pet this cat while you write. I support that. Ignore my nails or don't. I mean, you probably were ignoring them until I drew attention to them, so there we are. Okay, baby, I got 1 minute. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. I love you. So she's precious. She's got a cute little setup over here. Yeah, you're a little travel kitty. Okay, so we've got 20 minutes. 20 minutes. We're going to do 15 minutes in like a minute. And then we'll come back, we'll chat, and then I'll tell you more about like what's going on in the story since I didn't really get to that this time. And maybe you can tell me what you're working on if you're here. Isn't it always like that last minute just feels really extra long in comparison to the 5 minutes before it? There we go. 15 minutes on the clock, starting now. Is that a real place? Cool. That was 15 minutes. It actually went by kind of fast, surprisingly. But in that 15 minutes, I was able to write 269 words. So that is a good thing. I don't know. It's good enough. There are words happening. I've actually been less into, I'm just typing down how many words I got in that session, so that I don't lose that progress when I reset my word count. But I actually haven't been paying as much attention to word count lately. I've really just been trying to get words out and just get through the story. Like, it doesn't matter how many words I get, because I know that that's going to change in the next, like, 5 or so drafts. It's going to fluctuate. Lullaby of the Lilitu, when I finished this, I think it was at like 60,000 or so words, and then I ended up cutting like 5,000 or so words, and then I ended up adding so many that it is almost 80,000 words now. So I do know that that's going to go back and forth for a bit, so I'm trying not to let myself be so concerned with word count, and only really keeping track of it so that I know, so that I can see some progress. It's the best way for me to see progress. So what is happening in the story? I'm not going to tell you everything, obviously, but the ancients that we meet at the end of the first book of Lullaby of the Lilitu. That's not quite a spoiler, or maybe it is. I'm sorry, but the characters that we meet at the end of that book they have a bigger part in this book. And right now, I've just been kind of having a scene, and it's a pretty quiet scene, but it is a discussion scene, and those are really hard to write. They're much harder than action scenes. Action scenes, you're writing action, you're writing what's happening, things are moving forward, people are active, hence action, things are happening. And in conversation scenes or discussion scenes, it's a lot harder. So I do know that in another draft, I'm probably going to have to go back and add a lot of action, like activity, like movement, description, physical things, because it's a lot of dialogue. It's heavy on the dialogue. And I'm okay with that now because this is the first draft, and I am like letting myself just get this out because I can go back and add those things once this is out. But this chapter has been huge on dialogue, and I've just been really, really trying to make it so that there's still movement, there's still action, you're still seeing people. They're not like a bunch of talking heads in an empty white room, as it is said. Like, I want there to be a physical or grounded kind of feeling of reality in this scene. And it's not been as easy, but it's not been that hard either because I know where they are. So I do know, like, when I go back, I'll be able to give more description. But yeah, it's not the same as writing a fully active scene where people are fighting or killing things or running across country or taking a plane or all sorts of stuff. So this has been probably the reason it's taken so long to get through this, besides all the other stuff that I said earlier, the stress and stuff. This is probably taking a little bit longer because there's a little bit less action. So I know, but there's tension, and that's good. But I do know that when I go back, I'm going to have to add action, add some movement, add some more tension that keeps you kind of moving forward tension. So there's tension between the characters, but I need tension that makes me want to keep moving forward. So we'll see how that plays out. There was a chapter just before this that was full of action. There was a lot going on, but it also had like some really nice, or I think they're nice because I wrote it, but it's got some really nice quiet moments in the last chapter. In between all the wild action, there's like moments of quiet tension, and I like that. This chapter has less than that chapter did as far as quiet tension goes. It's very it's more informative, I think, and I think that's something I'm going to have to look at and like really, really work to make more interesting. Like, I find the information interesting, but I'd like to make the whole scene more interesting if I can. We'll see what happens. I mean, I could just be like being hard on myself because that's what I do, and maybe it's not that bad, but we'll see when I go back and read the first draft after I finish writing the first draft. So that's where we are right now. And then the chapter after this, because this chapter is actually almost done, like it's pretty close to the end, and I'm probably going to finish it in this next sprint if I keep going at the rate that I've been going now. And after this, there will be movement, and it's almost kind of nonstop movement from there, which is also something I really need to, when I'm going into the next draft, I need to add more quiet scenes, more like slowed down things so that the reader has a break. And hopefully I inherently did that in my outline and I just don't remember. But from what I can just see is like there is a lot of movement, a lot of stuff happening, ongoing. Like it's just a lot of movement in the next chapter. Like after this is like we kind of hit the ground running and it's just boom, boom, boom. Like we're going to another country, and then we're going to another country, and then we're gonna have some fight scenes. Like I think there's like 3 fight scenes just in just coming up in the beginning of the book, and then more country, more. There's a lot of globetrotting in this book. I think like in Lullaby of the Lilitu, they are mostly in London. They do go to Luxembourg in Germany and into Metz, France, but you don't really get to see those places as much. Whereas with Scourge of the Lilitu, the places we go to, we will be spending some time in those places. So I do have a lot of I did a lot of research already, but I have a lot more probably to really kind of immerse in the areas that they're in. They're going to Ireland, they're going to Scotland. They're actually not going to spend a lot of time in Ireland, but they're going to spend time in Scotland. They are going to Brazil. They are spending a lot of time. The scene I'm writing right now is in Egypt. So they travel a lot. Generally, between those places, they're mostly going to be going back and forth between Egypt, London, or among Egypt, London, and Scotland. So those are the main places we're going to be spending some time in, but there is a very, very, very important scene set in Brazil that I'm excited about because I've never written about Brazil, and I did a little bit of research, but I'm really interested in just having a lot of Brazilian pictures and colors and just really putting my brain into that space because that's exciting. I really wanted to explore the world in my book because I'm going to explore the world in real life. And I just feel like this is a nice, it'll just be nice. It'll just be fun. It'll be interesting, I think. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start our next sprint on the 45, which is in about 3 minutes. And we'll do 20 minutes. Again, if you are working on something, let me know what it is. Say hi in the chats. And this is not my usual day, so if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe so you can see whenever there are videos up. I usually schedule these videos at least an hour or two in advance so that you know it's coming. And I generally do my videos on Wednesdays. It's just like I said, last week I was not in the emotional, mental, or spiritual place to do it. The week before, I don't even remember what was happening. And yesterday I was at an event, and it was really cool. I was at the Cal Arts film showcase or stage showcase for their graduating class, and that was really, really fun, really exciting. I met a lot of cool people, and I met a couple of people that I think would be perfect for the movie version of Lullaby of Delilah 2. I'm not trying to jinx anything, but there may be a movie version. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm just saying I have been talking to some people, and it's a possibility. So I did meet some cool actors there. And next week, I think I'll be actually at a show. So I probably will be doing this on Thursday next week as well. And then after that, we'll be back to our Wednesday schedule. So if you are new to the channel, because this is a different day, hopefully you can make it on Wednesdays and we can do writing all together. My usual Wednesday crew is obviously not here because they are usually here on Wednesdays. And people's, their schedules don't really change that much. That was weird. So this clock, there's a clock up here on the left side for me, and it said 35, 36. And then when I looked at it, it went back to 35 and then back to 36. And that was just really weird. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, 1 minute left on the clock, my lovelies, and we are going to write for 20 minutes. We're going to get these words out. We're going to get this book done, and well, not done tonight, but eventually, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's exciting, because like I said, I haven't been writing for a couple. I wasn't really writing steadily for a couple of weeks, and I'm glad to be doing it. Okay, 8:45. Or on the 45, wherever you are, 20 minutes on the clock, starting now. Hmm. ASMR. Darn. Okay, I didn't quite finish that chapter, but I am like, I don't know, maybe a few lines from being done with that chapter. And it went pretty well. I actually used a so I have these two characters that have been in the outline for a while, like literally a long time. And I just realized as I was writing this chapter and as they came in that I hadn't named them. So I had to go and look up names that would be appropriate for the types of characters they are. The whole time I had just been calling them A1 and A2 for Agent 1 and Agent 2, but I had not given them names. So now they have names, so that's exciting. And first name, last name. Hello and welcome. Am I a dude or a chick? You know what? I don't know. Who knows, man? Who even knows anymore? You know? That's the world we live in. And it's a good world. I'm proud of it. So yeah, like these characters just didn't have a name. So I actually ended up spending a good couple of minutes trying to find them a name. And if I didn't do that, then I probably would have finished this chapter at the time. So I do think I have like a couple of lines left in the chapter, and then we're going to be moving on, and we're going to be going from Egypt to back to London, which is where most of Lullaby of the Lilitude was set, in London, and or near London. It's not actually in London, but it's about 4 hours outside of London, which I guess sounds like it's far, but whatever. What do I know? Have I ever been to London? Once. I actually went to London and went to a lot of the locations that I mentioned in this book because I'd never been there before writing this book, and I'd already written and published this book by the time I went there. So I was like, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go there, and I like followed some of the paths that my characters went down, so that was really fun. And yeah, so we're kind of going back into their neighborhood. Let's see if I can. Okay. That light was dead when I started, so I had to wait for it to charge a little bit. But yeah, here we are. We're an hour in, so we're probably going to do just one more sprint and then call it a night. Well, call it a night for the sprinting. I'm probably going to keep writing a little bit unless I have dinner. We'll see. We'll see how I feel after the last 20-minute sprint. We're going to do one more sprint for 20 minutes, and we can do that on the 15, since it is 8 after the hour now. We'll start on the 15, do 20 minutes, and then that'll be it for the night. I'm really happy about the progress that's being made because I did, like I said, I have been spending a lot of time on this chapter, or well, this and the last chapter. They both took a lot of time. The last chapter is actually probably going to end up being like 3 chapters because it turned out to be it was 3,400 words. So that's a little bit long for me. So it may be 2 or 3 chapters depending on how it breaks up. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But right now I just have it all together because that's just the easiest way to do it. And I know with Lullaby of the Lilitude, I had like 10 chapters and they were like 5,000 words each. And then that ended up being broken down into separate chapters. And those 5,000 word sections ended up being basically like parts. So that's probably what's going to end up happening with a lot of these chapters because the way I outlined it, there are scenes that I know already are going to be a lot longer than any other scene, so they're going to end up being broken into smaller chapters. But that's a problem for future Victoria to deal with. Present Victoria is just getting these words out, and it feels really, really good. Like, I can't explain to you just how balancing it feels to be writing, because when I'm not writing regularly, it just I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm missing something in my life, and I've always had that where it's like if I'm not writing regularly, whether it's poetry, whether it's music, whether it's stories, I feel unbalanced, and I noticed that, and I'm really glad that now I've made it more of a point to write, especially when I'm having like not a good day. Those are the days where I'm like, okay, I probably just need to sit down and get some words out, whatever the words are. Either it's in my journal, it's in a notebook, it's music, it's poetry, it's this, it's whatever. I just got to get some words out, you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. And I don't know, who's got 2 thumbs and a book on the way? This guy. And I'm very proud. I'm really excited. Like the whole thing, the whole life of being a person who writes books. Because when you start writing books, you feel like everyone and their grandmother has written a book. Everyone's writing books. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's, self-publishing now. And that's just what it feels like. That's not the reality. The reality is very few people on the global scale write books. Very few people on a global scale write and publish books, and very, very, very few people on a global scale write and publish good books. And I do think this is a good book. And I'm not saying that to be braggy, but I know that I put a lot of love into it. I put a lot of energy into it. I made sure it was edited multiple times. There are things like when I go back and read it, I'm like, well, I could add this or I could have changed that, but I'm probably not going to do that because it's not necessary. The book stands on its own. I think it's good. I think it's enjoyable. And everyone who's read it so far has said very, very good things about it. And that feels amazing. And I have this other story that I was sending to betas this week. beta readers. In case you've never heard of beta readers, there are people who will read your book in an early phase, or story, anything that you're writing. They usually read it like after a lot of people will have a beta reader read beta reader. A lot of people will have a beta reader read their work in the first draft, after they finish writing the first draft. And I cannot do that. I hate that idea. I think it's really disrespectful to the people who are reading for you. I think it is unprofessional to do that. It's just rude. Don't give somebody your first gurgitated version, your first word puke version. Don't do that. So what I do is I will write at least 2 drafts, if not 3, before I send it out. And so I sent out a short story that I am hoping to bring out soon to you guys, to the public. And everyone had such good, just so many good things to say. And it's already been beta read before, so it didn't have a lot of big issues. But one of my favorite responses was someone saying that you should make this into a novel or novella because I want more. I want so much more. It was so good. And the way that feels it's indescribable, It's like reading that email, and I got the email today, and so I don't know, it just feels good. It feels like, yes, I'm doing the right thing. Yes, I'm on the right path. My writing doesn't suck, and I'm so happy about that. And I know it doesn't suck because I've been writing since before I could talk, literally before I could speak, before I had conversations with people, before I said words. I was reading books and taking notes and writing random things, writing little stories for myself. And I have in school, I won writing competitions, so I know it's not bad. But there's still this part of me that is always going to be questioning whether people are saying nice things just so they don't hurt my feelings, or whether people are saying nice things just so that I cannot ask them again what they think. And I hate. I'd rather you tell me the truth, even if you don't like what I offer. I would rather the truth in all aspects. I just cannot stand someone who is dishonest for any reason. I don't care if you don't want to hurt my feelings. Go ahead and hurt my feelings if that's being honest. That doesn't mean be cruel. That doesn't mean you have to be horrible and critical all the time, but definitely be truthful and thoughtful as you're being truthful. I think there are a lot of nuances there, but at the end of the day, if you're reading my work and you hate it, I want to know that, and I want to know why, so that I can improve it, so that I can make better work, so that I can create something that people can enjoy. And sometimes the person who hates my work is just being a dick, and there's nothing I can do to please them. But sometimes I get really, really good criticism, really good critique about very specific things, and that leaves me room to grow, that leaves me room to change and fix things, and it helps me to understand my own weak points. So I don't know, the feedback's just been really good. Anyway, we've reached the 15 already, so let's go ahead and start right now. 20 minutes on the clock. This is going to be our last writing sprint, and then we are going to get out of here. I'll probably talk for a couple more minutes afterwards because your girl, that's what she does. 3, 2, 1, let's go. was fast. Wow. Okay, well, that was 20 minutes, and I did finish that last chapter, and we are into another chapter now that is set, like I said, back closer to London. Yeah, it's going okay so far. I do think I'm probably going to take a break because I've realized that at this point my brain is kind of getting a little bit foggy, and I would just like to take some time to engage with my life and play with my cute cat. I mean, she's asleep, but I bet she'll wake up if I want to give her some attention. She's like sleeping right over here by me, and she's precious. And my other cat, I think, is on my bed, sleeping over there. Yes, she is on my bed, probably asserting her dominance by sleeping on one of the pillows. And yeah, I just kind of want to look at them and feel good and feel happy. Total today, let's see what I wrote total so we can see what happened in that. So we did two 20-minute sprints and a 15-minute sprint, so that comes out to 55 minutes. And in 55 minutes, I managed to write, this would go faster if I wasn't using just my mouse to do numbers, but I managed to write 927 words, so almost 1,000 words. And for me, that's really, really good. I'm not the fastest writer. I never have been and I never will be. I take a lot of time to think and to plan, and I really want my words to sound good, even though I know this is the first draft and the goal is to get it out. I want it to be as good as I can possibly get it the first time I write it, so that when I go back and edit it, it's just a lot easier. So I really pay attention to spelling, I pay attention to grammar, and so that's generally not something I have to worry about. In editing, obviously there will always be mistakes, there will always be typos, there will always be something that I just don't know how to spell. But in general, I try to be very careful about what I'm putting out in my first draft so that by the time I come back to edit it, it's a lot easier to work with. So I know that I'm a slower writer, but I still think I did really good to have almost 1,000 words. Like if I could write 1,000 words a day, then I could 100% have this book done by the end of April. You know what I mean? Or faster, depending on, some days I'll have more words. Some days I'll have like 2,000 words written. Some days I'll be able to write only 500 words. Some days I'll write no words because I do believe in taking breaks and taking care of myself and enjoying my life in general, and not making this feel like a job that I want to hate. You know what I mean? Like I do want it to be my job, but I don't want it to be so much of a job that that I'm pressured by it, that it feels like if I don't get this done, then I won't be able to live. I don't want that feeling with my writing, because then I'll just kind of clam up and not be able to do it. So I think I try to find a good balance, and I think it's working so far. So I'm really, really happy that I was able to write the 927 words that I got out. And maybe before bed, I don't know, it's already like almost 10 o'clock, so I probably still have to have dinner and, hang out with my cats and with Jules and like interact with my life. But I may write some more tonight. I may spend a couple minutes at least on this chapter to finish this part that I'm in. And then we will see how I feel, I guess. Definitely going to be writing some tomorrow, and I will see you guys next week. Like I said earlier, it'll probably be on Thursday, because next Wednesday I think I'll be going to my friend's comedy show maybe. And other than that, let's just get some writing in. Happy writing for the rest of the week. Hopefully you're writing outside of these sprints so that you're getting words in. Let me know how it feels for you, like when you take breaks writing. Like, do you guys get stressed out? Do you get upset? Do you start putting yourself down, or do you just start like how do you feel when you take breaks from writing? Do they feel like breaks? Do you feel guilty about them? Because I try not to. I try to be like, if I didn't write, then I didn't write. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm not going to like hold on to that. But I do, like I said, notice that I can get kind of stressed out if I'm not writing a lot. If I take too long of a break, it really starts to weigh on me, just because I like writing, and that's my best way to express myself. It's always been the best way that I have to express myself, has been writing. Like I would have arguments with my mom as a teenager and write her letters and leave them on the kitchen table because she was not the kind of person that you could actually talk to about your feelings. So I would write them down and send them to her or leave them on the kitchen table, and then she would come talk to me later about what I've written. So I've always been able to express myself through writing, and when I'm not writing, I really just feel that. I feel that I am clogged up, sort of, when it comes to self-expression. So yeah, things have been going good. Books coming along. Really, really, really excited. I already have an idea for what the cover is going to be, so I'm probably going to try to commission that cover by the end of March. And maybe have a cover reveal sometime in mid-April. Maybe I'll do it on April 1st so nobody believes it's the real cover, or maybe not, because why would I do that? That'd be silly. I would never do that. I'm sorry I even suggested it. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you for your love and your support. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next week, probably on Thursday, and then after that, mostly on Wednesdays, right here in my home, or any home that I own or live in. And yeah, hopefully it'll be much further along by then, and I'll have some more exciting, entertaining stuff for you. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome, and I'll see you later. Just popping in to say hi. Thank you for popping in. I'll see you next week if you join us. I'll be here probably next Thursday, like I was saying. Yeah, I hope so. That would be really lovely. I love having people here. I love talking back and forth with you guys. It really, really helps me to feel like I'm a part of the community. That's important. So see you next week, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Please, again, have a wonderful, beautiful, and amazing night and week. And remember always that I love you. Bye.